You're not an alpha male. You're not a sigma male. At best, you're using traits that you may have to find a community to belong to, and at worst, you're a toxic individual that is projecting your insecurities and are a massive, massive loser, and it needs to be said. So what's happening? It's me, Sprax, again. It's time for another car talk. The show that isn't a show, but makes for a great intro, and this is what I do to, to express things in a more personal way that isn't like my bigger scripted videos. And for this one, as you see by the title and the intro, I'm talking about this whole epidemic of alpha male, beta male, sigma male, just that idiocy. And it's important, I believe, as there's been a rise and it not just over the years, but you see it being used more with people trying to invoke masculinity into Trump's presidency. And it's just it's the cringiest thing in the world, and it needs to be said. And who's better to say it but me, a 6'3", 285 pound, and that's mainly because I'm eating a lot, black man who does do traditionally masculine things, played football, everything I lift besides overhead presses, 3 plates, like come on now. I fit the mold of a masculine alpha male and all that dumb shit. But I gotta pause real quick. I just started the video and already need a water break. That's crazy. And the worst part is there's creatine in here. This is from me being in the gym. Ugh. Anyways, as I was saying, there's been a rise in people using that when it comes to Trump's presidency, they evoke masculinity and manliness, and it's cringe. There's a clip going around. If I could find it, I'm gonna throw it up. If I can't, then it's just whatever.
Sees the numbers. He'll figure a way to do it.
It's not just going to be that. I mean, when Americans see deportations or repatriations happen, they're going to be like, thank you. When they see the border closed, they're going to say, this is what I voted for. When they see peace starting to break out again around the world, they're going to be like, this is the stability that we were asking for. Daddy's back. And that's what you're going to see.
What are you talking about? You're a grown man calling another grown man who just became president. You're calling him daddy because the way he's going to be president exemplifies a father, a dad. But why are you using daddy specifically in that way? What are you trying to say? Is he a man? Obviously what he's trying to say, daddy's home, daddy's going to bring out the belt, and he's going to really set order in the house. That's what he's trying to say. But when you really look at it, it doesn't come off that way. It comes off as very homoerotic. And this isn't to say anything bad about the gay community or anything or whatnot, but I'm bringing that up as a lot of these people who try to, invoke this whole alpha male masculinity thing tend to be, very homophobic, which itself, them always leaning into these very homoerotic tropes is why there's a massive belief that the homophobia is probably projection. You might really be super gay on the low, which is cool. Be you, do you. Nobody's going to judge you based on that alone. But, when you are very hateful and bigoted and whatnot, that's when you're going to be judged on it. But there's also another clip I saw. And this is just one of many. I'm just using this example. And I'm definitely going to throw this up because I have it already downloaded it. Where you just watch it.
Let me tell the American people something so we get this. Men are not loved. Men have to put their fucking foot in folks' ass. Men have to lay down the law. Men have to lay down the truth. Donald Trump is a man. The fact that all these fucking women hating him shows that he's doing exactly what men do. I'm despising my own motherfucking house. Because if I let the women do what they want to do, it'll be a fucking shit show.
Ever since I saw that a few weeks back, I knew I was going to eventually use that in a video because that exemplifies a lot of, this whole toxic male, alpha male BS, whether it be your Andrew Tate's, your average father with a dad bod that's on Facebook that's just ranting and raving in the comment section of some irrelevant thing or or people who are like men who are like more like thin and feminine looking and just, you know, just losing their shit in the comment section. I see that a lot. And I really wanted to use this one because it's like men being unloved isn't a sign of manliness. Looking down on women and being despised in your house, that's not a sign of being a man. That's not a sign of manliness. That's a sign of just being a dickhead. Somebody that's just miserable to be around. Somebody that really needs therapy. Like my great-grandfather, he was, well, I'll say he was a man, and unfortunately he was alcoholic, but when he wasn't drunk, he didn't really yell or curse or anything, right? And he was traditionally a masculine man, very strong as well. Like if it wasn't for the alcoholism, he probably would have lived until his like 90s or even 100. Like he had old man strength. And you know how he disciplined me? When I did something wrong, he didn't discipline me by taking out the belt and being despised and everything. He disciplined me with words. Words hurt, and not mean words. One time I took his quarters, right? And because I wanted to get ice cream. And he died when I was 8, so I'm somewhere between like 6 or 7. He had a big old, margarine jar, because, they never throw those out. Big old jar, margarine jar, and he had like quarters and coins in there. And I took them and went and got ice cream, and he found out about it. Found me and was like, "You take my quarters?" And I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "You could have just asked. That's all you had to do. Like, you didn't have to steal from it." It's like, "I'm disappointed in your action." He said something like that, and that shit stung. I am 32 years old, and I still remember how much that stung. I've been whooped quite a few times by my mom, and like in other situations got hit by a car because of cousins and other stuff, and got whooped because of that by said cousins. And the biggest lesson I learned was that situation right there, the whoopings or whatever. By the time I got older, you just fake, oh, I'm hurt, and well, whatever. But I'm saying all this for a reason, right? I'm not just rambling. Like that right there was, like, to me, a man. Being a dickhead, being an asshole, being unloved, projecting your insecurities isn't manliness. And when it comes to the Trump presidency, he is one of the biggest projectors of manliness. Like, as in like, projecting insecurities. One thing Trump likes to do is he likes to do the little handshake thing where he pulls people in, but he only can do it with certain people, the people that are stronger than him. He tried to do it with Gavin Newsom. Didn't work. I think he tried to do it with Putin as well. Don't remember correctly, so I'll have to look that up after this. But if he did as well, I don't think it worked there as well. It was him or Macron, somebody. So people flocking under him, who also, are projecting their insecurity, is not really a shock or a surprise. But on the bigger picture, this man, who is basically being ran around by Elon Musk, who himself is a massive dork, his actions and the actions of the people that are donating to him is resulting in a loss of jobs. And the biggest irony of the loss of jobs is that some of the very same people who are putting that message out, men are unloved, men are strong, men are despised. No, we need a real man as president, not this DEI woke garbage, are the same people who are now losing those jobs. Because lo and behold, your insecurities, your hate, and your anger result in you supporting a person who doesn't even care about you, doesn't love you, doesn't give a damn about you, doesn't care about your existence. He only cares about making money for himself and his fellow rich folks. It's almost like having this warped idea of manliness revolving around, toxicity, being hateful, spiteful, bigoted, angry at the world because of your own pain. It's almost like you're getting that back because you supported a person who is the same way because his father didn't love him. One of the things I like to speak about is generational trauma and curses and things, right? Because in my family, I'm the one that's trying to break it. Friends as well are trying to break it. But on a grander scale, these toxic or these alpha men, whatever the fuck you want to call them, a lot of them are the same people. And they're just hurt, really, just incredibly hurt. But rather than sitting down reflecting and being an actual man and manning up to that pain, manning up to why they might feel unwanted or whatever, and figuring out what the source of that is, they just push it out into the world. And it sucks because we have the younger generation now, picking that up. Like, none of this stuff isn't new, but you could go right now to a YouTube comment section, with about being an alpha male, the traits of an alpha male or traits of a sigma male, and you'll see people who, based on how they type, seem to be fairly young, who are talking about like, yeah, as a sigma male, this is how I live. People just don't understand us. And I look back and I see that because I sometimes watch those videos just to like read the comments, and I'm like, you're so misguided. You don't even know it. You're not a sigma male. You're just a person. Okay, so say you're a bit more stoic, don't really talk much and everything, but you don't take no shit from anybody. You really aren't about the BS, the bull jive. That just makes you you. I'm somewhat like that. I don't take shit from nobody. People know I got kicked out of a cop car before, okay? That's a story I love to tell. I'll tell that in a different video. But I got kicked out of a cop car, I'm known for my boundaries. People don't really try bullshit with me because I'm the type of person that will speak up. In fact, that's one of my biggest issues is that I can't be around nonsense because eventually I will say something, whether it's nonsense with regular people or nonsense with political figures, people that are rich and everything, because I've been there, done that. But that doesn't make me a sigma. That just makes me me. That just makes me the type of person I am. Those are my traits. And those traits aren't things that, that were developed in me because I was a type A personality or whatever. But a lot of it came from the people I was around, both man and woman, male and female, because I've been around some strong women. Most of these people are black, but not all completely. People that were outspoken, that encourage critical thinking, we're trailblazers or rebels, like within their own right, like to shave their head or something. Women couldn't really do that back then. Just different stuff. I'm not special in any regards because of that. I'm just a guy, and that's what really needs to be expressed and encouraged or whatever. I can't really think of it. I do these off the top of my head, but a message needs to be pushed out. You're just a person. You're just a guy, a woman, or non-binary, whatever you are. Like, you don't need the label of, man, I'm an alpha, because it looks so fucking stupid. Like, I'll give an example. I was in a Facebook group. I'm still in the Facebook group, but one day with the group, there was a post that somebody made, and this is like a left-leaning group, but there was a post somebody made, and it was just like making fun of like traditional alpha males. I don't know if it was making fun of Andrew Tate or whatever, but it was a post a person made. And in the comment section, this guy somehow got in the group because it's a fairly big group and memes are posted a lot, but he like took offense to it. And think of like the traditional, I guess, 5'7" white dad, but he had like really rosy cheeks and a round head and like a dad bod and whatnot. Just somebody that's super unassuming. And I'm not saying unassuming people can't like be, what we think of as like masculine. Like, they can't be like dominant or leaders or anything. I'm not saying that at all. But in the case of this guy, he wasn't. And he's in the comment section. And he's going on just rants, just replying to everybody. Oh, like, you're making fun of alpha men, but I don't see no alpha men in this actual comment section. You wouldn't really know what an alpha man truly goes through because none of you are alpha men. And that's me paraphrasing because I obviously don't really remember all of it. But I saw it and I replied to him. And I went, well, as somebody who is seeing it traditionally as masculine, you look really silly right now. Like, you're clearly projecting, based on like, and I've already said this, I hate repeating myself, but fuck it, but you're clearly projecting on, how insecure you feel, but you're a grown man in this comment section on Facebook doing this. Like, chill out. And he replies to me and goes, and once again paraphrasing because I don't remember the full thing, but the crux of it was, you wouldn't know what a true alpha male looks like because you've never seen one. Now, if an alpha male actually came up to your face, you wouldn't say anything to them. Now, for me, the switch goes off in my head because, as I've always tried to say, I'm fairly confrontational. Like, I don't ever want people to think that I'm like this super calm, super nice guy. No, I'm very fiery, and I try to keep it like, as being older, try to keep it more level, you know, be more mature about it, know more about myself, because 20-year-old me is just definitely an asshole. Like, I'm still intelligent, but I would be quick to say more things that was very disrespectful. I wanted to hurt your feelings bad. And if you wanted to fight about it, cool. Let's go ahead. We can fight about it. You ain't gonna beat me, probably. I mean, 20-year-old me was like, you're probably not gonna beat me. Even though I was like still like a nerd and everything. I'd been in enough fights at that point that I hadn't lost. At worst, they were draws. I've been like jumped like multiple times and they were still draws. So I look like a nerd, but I had like the biggest ego. I'm just telling the truth here. But the switch goes off in my head and I'm like, oh, okay. You're one of those. Let me prove you wrong. So, like how I'm talking to the phone, put on selfie mode, and I go, don't let this internet shit get you confused, my guy. You don't realize it, but you're commenting on somebody that is aggressive, is angry, that has been in fights. Like, unlike you, I'm not projecting or anything. Like, I actually have issues. And yet, I can still tell that you look stupid. You're looking like a bozo. Simmer down. You're just on Facebook. Fuck out of here. All right, let me close the sunroof because I see a little glare right there. There we go. But now I got my glasses on and everything. That's basically like how I responded to him. And I sent it as a video in the comment section of, you know, that post. And I don't remember completely what I said because it was like 8 months to almost a year ago. But the result was he never replied. No, he like shut up. He just didn't reply anymore in that post. Like, he calmed the fuck down. I basically checked him as I would check a grown man if we was in person. And I had to do that just to really let him know, like, you're, as the meme goes, you're not that guy. And I wasn't saying that because I'm tough or anything or whatnot, but sometimes people do need a reality check when they're looking like a bozo, and he was looking like a complete bozo. And when people do this whole alpha male thing, you know, I'm an alpha, I'm a sigma, you look like bozos. Whether you're like a nerd, a younger nerd, you know, that's like looking, that's just projecting like how tough you are, but you really aren't. Or somebody that goes to the gym and just pumps iron all day and talks about, you know, lions don't care about the opinions of sheep. All that shit looks stupid. It's dumb. And unfortunately, it's costing people their livelihoods and money because we have that and the most important office in the United States of America, as well as being funded through the shadow president Elon Musk, who once again is a massive dork. Like, it's absolutely silly. There's nothing cool about not being vulnerable. In fact, the fact that I'm more vulnerable these days has been a blessing. You know, I'm not as wound up as I used to be and just, you know, ready to, like, not ready to crash out because I had men in my family who went to prison. So I always had it back in my mind. I don't want to go to prison because visiting a prison, a real prison, like a dungeon, scared me straight. But half of the time I was still ready to crash out anyways, you know, just the memory of that always stopped me before it was last second, even though there was a situation where I was ready to commit like a few homicides because something happened, but somebody else stopped me because they saw how angry I was, and I wasn't even expressing how angry I was. I kept it inwards, but all that hate and anger that I had was so prevalent, I guess, in just my mood, demeanor, and the energy that I was giving off, that the person, who was my mom, realized something bad was about to happen. We weren't even really on like good terms then. You know, our relationship is very rocky, always has been, and yet she could tell I was about to do something stupid. Didn't say much or anything. I wasn't like going around just, no, I was just quiet and chilling, but she could tell. And thankfully she intervened and I didn't do anything stupid, and I'm here today to talk about this. Like, being vulnerable is cool. Having emotions is cool. You can be a leader without being a jackass. You can be a leader without being despised in your home. You can be a man without attaching labels like I'm an alpha and whatnot. Those are so unnecessary, and it makes you look worse rather than look better. It's okay to love women. It's okay to love men. It's okay to not love at all. If you're just asexual, well, I don't think sexual has to do anything with love. I think that has to do with intimacy. But it's okay to not love at all and just like not want to do anything. It's okay to be monogamous. It's okay to be polyamorous. It's okay to just exist in this world, because as humans and people, a lot of us are very multi-fragmented. You know, we have traits that are all over the place because emotions and consciousness is a spectrum. It's cool to be different. It's cool to live, but it's not cool to be a jackass, purposely so. And thinking like, oh, I'm the most masculine shit in the world. It's not. It just looks stupid. And that's all I really wanted to say in this video. You know, I'm gonna go off and finish the things I gotta do. You know, this yap session is over. And as always, you know how I'm gonna end it. Deuces. I'll see y'all in the next video.